The devil knows the Bible better than we know the Bible. It tells us if you teach a child the way that he should go, when he's old, he will not depart from it. So whatever way you teach a child right now, he will not depart from it when he's older. Teach a child the ways of the Lord. And if you're not, best believe that the devil is teaching them. Best believe that the school districts are teaching them. Best believe that social media is teaching them. Right now, we're seeing a generation, Generation Z, that is rebellious towards authority, rebellious towards their parents. And parents wonder why their children are rebellious. Well, it's because they themselves are rebellious towards the authority of God. So they breed children that are rebellious towards their authority. The fact is we need to correct our children, right? We're seeing, I'm seeing children, 7, 8 years old, walking around in a little bra, in little jean shorts with their belly out. And parents are blaming it on, oh, the trends, and the child is really just trying to fit in, and you know they're the ones that want these clothes. And it's like, yeah, but you're the ones buying it. And when I see a child wearing that, it's showing me who's the boss in the house. It's not you, it's them. I'm sorry, but regardless of peer pressure, a 7-year-old does not need a phone. We're seeing so much insomnia in Gen Z. We're seeing depression and anxiety. We're seeing porn addiction. We're seeing bisexuality, transgenderism on the rise. And the reason why is because they have a phone at their very fingertips at all hours of the night, unrestricted. And what parents are doing in that scenario, right, is they are feeding their children to the mouth of the devil willingly. And they have no idea. And it's laziness at the end of the day because they're treating the phone like a babysitter. Now, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 13:24, he that does not correct his child hates him. But he that loves his child diligently corrects them. So not just correcting them here and there when you're angry, but correcting them diligently. And doing it right, not doing it out of anger, but coming before the Lord before you go and correct them, right? Whatever way you want to put them in timeout, you want whatever it is, but be a man or woman of your word. If you say, hey, I'm going to reward you when we get home, you're going to get this lollipop for doing this, do it, because they're going to remember and they're wondering, is my parent, you know, they test you to see if you are bluffing. But when you're consistent with it, you know, you say, I'm going to punish you if you don't stop doing this. And you do it, you know, they know next time they're not bluffing. But there's a lot of parents also that they don't understand that children have equations in their mind. This is how God explained it to me. Children have equations in their mind. That means if I yell, they think if I yell and throw a tantrum to get what I want, I'm going to get what I want because my parents have done it before. They've given me what I want. Or if I yell, I'm going to get mommy's attention. So you need to switch that equation. You need to fix that equation to make it, if I yell, mom and dad are not going to listen to me until I calm down. You come to the child, say, honey, I can't understand you when you're yelling like that. When you're ready to speak, then we can talk. I will be over here. You don't give attention to that. You don't engage and enable that behavior, because when you're like, oh my gosh, no, they need to understand they're not going to get your attention with that kind of behavior. You can't reward bad behavior. How is it that I don't see any children outside playing? Why does a 7-year-old need an iPhone? They don't. So let's talk about what God thinks about parents that do not correct their children, right? 1 Samuel 3, chapter 3, verse 13. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever. This is God speaking about the priest Eli. Because the priest Eli had 2 sons that were also priests. And they were leading the people of Israel astray. Eli wasn't so much unrighteous, but his children, his 2 sons, were having sex with the women that would come to the temple. They were blaspheming God. They were mishandling the sacrifices. And so this is what God says to Eli through a prophet Samuel. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knows, because his sons made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. In other translations, he did not correct them. And if you read the story, it is so imperative to note the punishment that God gives Eli for not punishing his children. So, he who spares the rod spoils the child. The Bible even says in Proverbs that if you correct your child, he will make you glad. He will give you peace. But parents don't want to lay down the law. And honestly, it's the children running the house. You're not putting the fear of the Lord in them. And you're teaching them that the world is going to accept them that way. They're going to accept them being rude and ungrateful and selfish and all these things. And it's like, you're putting up with all of this, but I promise you, people in the world are not going to put up with this. And the world's going to just devour them when you put them out there and they go to college. They're not going to do well because people are not going to, that's not how the world works. We need to be realistic with our kids. We need to say, okay, you want that toy? All right, work for it. It's not always I just give you, because life is not just handed to us. Okay, let's work for it. Do some chores around the house. I'll pay you. And then you teach them. 1/3 goes into savings. 1/3 goes into, 10% goes to God. And then 1/3 you can use or whatever. You know what? I don't know. But teach them the value of $1 from a young age. It's not abuse. This is good for them. But it's very lazy parenting today. And how does the devil get the minds of the youth? Through social media, through movies, through music. And we need to be monitoring what our children are taking in. So, at the end of the day, and this is crazy because I'm very passionate about the youth, and I've nannied my entire life, and I'm about to have a baby, and I can't watching these parents feed their children into the mouth of the devil. I just can't do it. It makes me so upset because I'm seeing young girls literally believe that they're gay, that they're transgender. Young boys, confusion all over the place. And the school district's just making your kids completely liberal. So at the end of the day, it is the parents' fault. They want to say, oh, and they don't want to hear this. This is the last video that any parent really wants to hear. Because they say, don't tell me how to raise my child. Well, wait until they're 18. And, it's all right here. It's all in the Word of God. God is the one that gives us wisdom. And when we go to the Word of God and say, okay, forget about what my methods, let's hear what God, who created man and everything that we see, He's the one that's going to give me my parenting methods. But it's just sad. It's just sad to see. It really is. Because I remember I was getting in the car with, or not in the car, sorry, pregnancy brain, in the elevator with a young girl. She was from Generation Z. She was probably maybe 12. And she just looked at me and she's like, and there's just this, it's crazy. It's like rude. It's not, hello, how are you? If you say hello, they're like, you're weird, Oh, what a beautiful day. You're talking to me? And it's the most socially connected generation, but the most antisocial generation. They're worshiping crystals and stuff, and, they don't see it as worship, but it's new age. There's literal pornography on Snapchat, and parents are just ignorant of it. So I just had to come on here and give a rant because maybe, hopefully, I'm just hoping there's one parent out there that's going to see this video and is going to say, I need to make a change. I need to be praying for my kids. I need to be taking them to church. I need to be getting right with the Lord myself. I need to, I need to correct my kids and not let them do whatever they want, because life is not like that. And I'm giving them an unrealistic taste of what the world is and what life is. So this is something I'm really passionate about. So y'all are seeing a little bit more fiery side of me, but I want this generation to turn around. So I hope that this helps somebody. And maybe if you know a parent that is going through this and, you know, maybe they're lost or whatever, send them this video. You know, maybe they need to hear it. It's a hard truth, but they need to hear it. So that's it. That's all I had to say. Love you guys. Bye.